Let's go! More stupid conspiracy theories debunked with Miniminuteman. Let's go. I'm ready. I saw the title, Bosnian Pyramid, and I'm in.
You haven't built a pyramid bigger than Giza yet.
Fine, I'll talk about the stupid video.
The Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia, triangular sides. That's it.
Oh my god. Bosnia mentioned! Dude, you don't know this, but Eastern Europeans are actually direct descendants of angels. And they're just the purest souls, okay? And that's why we have the biggest pyramids, you know, and just, we have the highest technology. It's what happens.
But confirmed, we're joking.
No, that's it. He talks about magnets and compasses, but none of it matters because it's not a pyramid. He doesn't tell you the important stuff, like the guy who discovered it is a Bosnian businessman. I wonder what his motive could be for getting his name slapped on a tourist attraction.
Formations look natural to you.
Flatiron Mountain, it's been confirmed by multiple geologists. I know, it really looks like a pyramid, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it looks like a pyramid if you draw a pyramid on top of it. Yes, bro. Yes, bro, it does. It does, bro.
35,000 years old.
Bro, what the fuck? No. You're gonna just accept that number at face value? You're not even gonna question this timeline? Aren't you people supposed to be critical thinkers? You cannot actually look at that and think—
Critical mentioned.
Hello everybody, my name is Most Critical.
that makes any goddamn sense.
Each stacked with geopolymer binding with perfect placement.
Geopolymer binding.
Geopolymer. He's pulling out the keywords.
That cracked and eroded. That's why they fit together so well.
At these tunnels, large stone blocks were found.
Perhaps a cave. Oh, it's too smooth. It had to be people.
Flat out ignored by mainstream archaeology.
Humanity's greatest threat, mainstream archaeologists. You can find a more noble enemy than that, G.I. Joe.
You haven't built a pyramid.
Nah. She's just hating on the Bosnians. He doesn't know the true
This
Bosnian
penguin is
technology.
almost the height of an adult man. And these penguins,
Wait, so does that mean it's my height? Cause I'm almost the height of an adult man. I'm 5'5".
could punt like a football. So you're probably thinking to yourself, why? Why the size difference? Not why you'd punt them like a football. I mean, that one's pretty obvious. Look at them. Well, buckle up because it's time to learn you some science. There is a trend seen through species across the world that colder environments will evolutionarily select for larger body sizes. And it's called
Wait! So that's why Swedish people are so tall. I feel like we were talking about this just the other day, and I jokingly said is that they grow higher to get more sunlight. It's because they live in the cold, so they just have to grow bigger. And that's also why people like in the Philippines, where it's super hot, they're small. They're small people, you know?
Rule. Write that one down, it will be on the test. Let's look at a bear. This is a polar bear. It lives in the Arctic. And this is an Andean bear. It looks like a Toy Factory misprint and lives in the Andes. Have a look at that size comparison. This here is the Andean bear or spectacled bear. This gigantic
goddamn polar bear is so big.
terrifying thing is a polar bear. And if you look at the names and regions of all these bears, it's actually a phenomenal graph of Bergmann's rule. As the astute of you have already guessed, that is exactly why we had so much megafauna during the Ice Age. I hear some of you say, Milo, but elephants exist and they're in Africa and it's warm there. Elephants are just the last remaining member of a myriad of tusked pachyderms that arose during the Ice Age. Despite being big, they're smaller than a mammoth.
Goddamn, mammoths were so big, right? I always thought the mammoth was the size of an elephant.
I got you this. It's a dead beluga whale. Oh, Milo, it's a terrible gift.
No, that's me. That's just me.
I already have a dead beluga whale. Okay, well this one's different. I bet you cannot guess where they found it. An estuary? Wrong. Perchance a tidal marsh? No, also wrong. An inlet? Mayhaps. Wrong again. Did you just say the shore of a freshwater lake in a totally landlocked state? Oh my god, you're correct. This is the Charlotte whale, and it was discovered in the 1840s during a rail line construction in Charlotte, Vermont. First, workers thought that it was a horse skeleton. I don't know what they were smoking, but I would like some.
Fun fact, you can die of vitamin A poisoning if you eat a polar bear's liver. Why would you ever find yourself in a situation to eat a polar bear's liver?
Well, figuring out that this wasn't a horse was pretty easy. Figuring out what a whale skeleton was doing in a farmer's field in Vermont was much more difficult. This was in the 1840s, so the discipline of geology was still in its infancy. But it was eventually found that this whale came from here. When the glaciers covered North America, they compressed the ground with their immense weight. And so when they receded, the ground was lowered. This allowed for seawater to fill the Champlain Valley about 15,000 years ago, creating an inland Arctic sea environment in what is now Canada and Vermont. The perfect environment for a beluga whale. I got you this. It's a
Oh, wait, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. I feel like I'm not fully understanding it, but I can tell it's crazy.
You seem like the kind of person that would appreciate a fun fact about pencils.
That's true. I love pencils. I love eating them.
Check this out. What do you call this stuff that's inside a pencil?
Lead!
If you're deep in the pencil fandom, you probably call it graphite, and that's correct.
I guess it is. Oh, it's like a derivative of diamond. I know this. Graphite is like almost a step removed from diamond.
But more often than not, we call it lead. I always
Yeah.
assumed this is because at one time pencils were actually made out of lead. But apparently, that's wrong. This is Nicolas Jocontet, and he invented the modern pencil, which apparently was a dangerous occupation. He made a writing instrument by encasing a piece of graphite in clay and wood, kind of like this. Now, people have been doing something like this with graphite way back into antiquity, so Jacques technically wasn't the first person to do this, but he did make the same mistake that everyone else did. And that is looking at raw graphite and confusing it with raw lead because of how similar they look. So even though they were never made of
it's called pencil lead just because a guy thought it was lead.
lead, the name just stuck. But the best part is that the mineral graphite actually gains its name from this use, coming from the Greek word graphene to write or draw, meaning we gave this mineral its name because of how good it is at drawing pictures. So make sure to sauce me a follow if you seem like the kind of person.
Damn, that's funny. It got named after the fact that it got the use.
Explain this to me.
Sure, man, of course. What can I do for you?
Two
Bro, oh my god, double dogged out. So messy. Explain this to me.
rainbows here, which are coming
Yeah.
from the reflection.
Prisms. Love them. Just can't get enough of the little fuckers.
Well,
Nah, it's gay people. Man, it's gay people. They're doing that. Because they hate you.
coming from that corner.
Your baby's hustling towards that swimming pool like he's got a scuba certification to get. Maybe when we're done with the prisms, you can get a baby gate, or at least get the kid a fucking snorkel.
When we see a rainbow in the sky, shaped like this, where is that coming?
No, you got this, man. Where does it come from?
The only explanation, some form of rounded.
No, oh my god, no. It's the dome theory. It's the Earth dome theory. Oh god, bro. Oh, I love the dome. I love the dome.
Glass structure above us.
My confidence seems to have been woefully misplaced. So your door is a prism. It splits the white light into all of its different constituent colors and projects it onto your beautiful tiled floor. Rainbows are created by scattering light through water droplets, which are, as you may have guessed, round. Rainbows don't actually exist in the sky. They only exist in relation to where your eyeball is perceiving it from. All those round droplets create a round prism effect, which is why rainbows can be so big that they arc over a city, or so small that you can create one yourself with a garden hose. It has nothing to do with living under a giant...
Explain this to me.
Sure, man.
Nah, it's the glass dome.
To believe that in Egypt, they did it all by hand with slave labor and copper tools.
Nice video. Too bad you got ratioed to hell. Comment sections of videos like this are normally just people, you know, blindly drinking the Kool-Aid. In a moment like this, I feel like
Wait, granite can be sliced with copper and sand in between. Sand particles are way harder than granite.
a proud father. It brings a tear to my eye to see so many people calling out pseudo-archaeology videos in the comments. Don't get me wrong, we still have some comments like this. We will
One day we will be mining for Mars resources and we will find a pyramid built by our ancestors. Mark my words. Okay, bro.
find pyramids built by our ancestors on Mars, mark my words. I'm sure we will, Raul, I'm sure we will. By and large, you guys are doing my job for me. Granite can be sliced with copper and sand in between. Sand particles are way harder than granite, that is true. Okay, sand is diamond and wouldn't also grind down the copper in the tool. Okay, got it. They replaced their copper tools, of course the sand wore them down. The video also implies that the pyramids were built out of granite and not sandstone, sandstone being incredibly soft. And we get this comment. It's made from
Arenisca. Like in Minecraft.
sandstone, not granite. If you say so. Y'all know that my job is your job
Not even trying, just if you say so. If you say passive aggressive, gave up.
too. When you see videos like this, don't be afraid to politely spread the truth in the comments.
To believe
How is it possible without a deep understanding of geometry, mathematics, physics, and engineering?
Bro, it's stairs. You think ancient people were just that dumb that they didn't know stairs?
Oh man. Maybe, and hear me out on this one, they did have an understanding of geometry, mathematics, physics, and engineering. How did ancient people know how to do this when they were dumb, stupid idiots? So this is called the
Exactly.
Chanbauri. It's a
People assumed all ancient people were just so dumb. Like,
But they didn't have Google. But they didn't have Google. But But no Google, how could they use the calculator to calculate? How could they use it?
Stepwell in India, and it was built in the 9th century. For comparison, this castle in Italy was also built in the 9th century. I don't see anyone questioning what their understanding was of math, physics, and engineering. These beautiful constructions made by civilized people make perfect sense. But how did these heathenish barbarians figure out how to do basic geometry? You guys see
Didn't
how...
like math, like, are we using like Arabic numerals? Like math was big in the Middle East.
condescending this shit is. Now, thankfully, people are getting wise to just how degrading and brain-dead a lot of these pseudo-archaeology theories are. And so this post got just shredded in the fucking comments. Wow, who knew that when you imply that ancient India didn't have an understanding of the sciences, you're gonna get a little fucking backlash.
How is it possible?
Damn, it's beautiful though. I've never seen this place before. I've never seen of this landmark. I've never heard of it.
This theory could prove that ancient civilizations actually had contact with each other across the world.
Bro, blink! Please, blink! Your eyes, they hurt! Please, 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 blink, man! Blink! Blink! Blink!
Ancient civilizations all had contact with each other across the world. Let's just take it down a notch. You're shaking like you just discovered atomic theory. It's really not that serious. There are pyramids in 5 continents.
I don't hear people say this enough. A pyramid is a modern architectural category. It's like saying a house or a skyscraper. Different civilizations didn't set out to build a pyramid. They set out to build religious centers, burial structures, and temples. That there's pyramids all over the world is good evidence. Are solely looking at it through a modern lens.
With similarities that don't make any sense.
Look at how different
He is yet to blink once. He is yet to blink. Yet to blink.
all of these structures are. Vary about as much as is humanly possible when you're building a 4-sided structure out of dirt and rocks. Challenge you to come up with a design feature that isn't present somewhere up here.
It's 3-window structure. Have you ever seen the photo of the Last Supper?
Truly envy the mind of a conspiracy theorist. Convince yourself that you have your third eye open and that you're seeing what they don't want you to see.
Well, he has to have his third eye open because he has the 2 of them open as well. Okay? He got already two of them wide open, okay?
How do people think to build a triangle?
See, and have this be enough evidence for you. Random bullshit regurgitated from somebody else's TikTok.
This theory could prove that
He did not blink. He did not blink, bro.
Did you ever leave your handprints in wet cement as a kid? Or forever memorialize?
No. I was feeling bad about the people that put the cement.
The initials of you and your partner who ended up being a total dick. If you did either of these things, then I have some interesting news for you. Because you were, without knowing it, participating in what may be humanity's oldest tradition. In 2021, archaeologists discovered this rock 13,000 feet above sea level in the Tibetan Plateau. Now this rock was interesting because typically most rocks don't have handprints in them. Analysis of this ancient stone showed that it had the hand and footprints of 2 individuals.
Oh my god, feet. Ancient feet. Imagine an ancient stank. You know, in Romania, there's a lot of streets that, the Romanian road workers, they just can't be asked, right? So, straight up, there's so many roads where there are built-in cat prints. It is such a common thing to have built-in kitty cat prints in the cement, like everywhere, like so common, bro, so common. Little kitty prints. Wait, what?
Comparing the size of these prints to modern Homo sapiens, archaeologists were able to determine that this little artistic duo consisted of a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old. But what's so incredible is that these prints are dated to be almost 200,000 years old. And because these aren't the markings of someone who was just walking through somewhere, they were done deliberately, and therefore could be classified as the oldest art in the world. And because of how old they are, there's a very good chance that these little artists weren't even part of our species. Did you ever leave your handprint?
Yeah. Damn, that's so interesting. That's so crazy. A root system was found 7 miles deep, 7 miles wide under the Devil's Tower. This could change history forever. And what, do you think it's a road to hell? Like, do you think it's... Devil's Tower is supposedly a mountain. You think it's the path to hell?
Holy shit, my man has the most incredible eyebrows I've ever seen. The fuck are
He
you doing?
does have nice eyebrows, not nicer than mine, but they're
Making conspiracy videos. You should be making POV thirst traps or working at Sephora. But unfortunately, Michelangelo here decided that his career path would be being wrong about geology. You may know this bad boy as Devil's Tower, though its actual name is Matotopia, which is its indigenous name, which meant Bear Lodge or Bear Teepee. And the indigenous folklore surrounding this site, claiming that it was a trunk of a giant tree that was scraped by a bear, has been turned into a lovely TikTok conspiracy theory, which seems just about as disrespectful as renaming it to Devil's Tower, but I guess that's not really my call to make. Either way, this is bullshit. Matotopia is a columnar basalt monadnock, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I'll break it down.
Oh, wait, he thought it was a tree? He thought this rock that is made of rock, and you can see that's made of rock, and go touch it and touch the rock? He thought that it was made of wood?
This is what happens when magma slowly cools into basalt, and because it is a standalone
Oh, not basalt. That's the worst biome.
mountain, it is a monadnock. This is another example of columnar basalt from the Giant's Causeway. Unless Stencil Brows wants to tell us that this was a giant ocean tree, so why don't we just let indigenous people have their folklore instead of fucking with it for TikTok clout?
He's so serious. He just knows that's gonna change history forever.
I don't know about you, but to me there's something about this image that's really creepy. It shows an undeveloped marsh with what looks like an ancient temple sitting alone in the middle of it. This picture's only around 100 years old, and that's not an ancient temple. It's the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. What this image captures
But damn, there was nothing around it. That's crazy.
is a strange moment in history that most people have never heard of. The capital city is built here on the banks of the Potomac River. You notice how the river gets really wide down here? Early Washington, D.C. was built along something called the Potomac Flats, essentially just a giant swampy marshland between the river and the shore. Now I know that sounds rather unpleasant, but these marshes were incredibly productive, and were the lifeblood of indigenous cultures like the Nacotchtank for literally thousands of years. But to the more extractive and industrial American empire, these marshes were more of just an obstacle. By the mid-1800s, DC's growing population began to cause problems with this ecosystem. The raw sewage dumped into the creeks began to literally fill the marsh. It also became a fertile breeding ground for malaria, which was introduced to the Americas by traffickers and their 300 years of human cargo. In the mid-1800s, it was decided that the best solution to these problems was to simply pave over the wetland. Ultimately, more than 12 million cubic yards of material would be used to bury the Potomac Flats. And the sewage swamp water was presumably pumped directly into the US government, where it remains today. When all was said and done, the project had reclaimed nearly 600 acres of land. Today are home to the placid waters of the reflecting pool and the unstained marble of the Lincoln Memorial. If you're watching this, you probably also think real history is pretty important. And if so, sauce me a follow so we don't lose each other.
Damn, that's crazy. Guys, I have a question. I just had a flashback. Is there a big Lincoln statue in here? Or is it real? Is there really a huge Lincoln statue? Because, like, I feel like I heard about it, but I never really thought about it as if it was real. It's real? Damn, that's cool. You know, because, like, when you're a kid and you hear of the 7 wonders of the world, you just don't question it. And then you never think about it anymore. And then you become a 25-year-old adult and you suddenly remember it and you think about it. You're like, wait, is that real? Because, like, when you're a kid, you don't fathom how impressive it is. You're like, whatever. But then, damn, that's cool. That's real.
You tell me if you think this is a coincidence.
Yes, it is a coincidence.
No,
if you start by
it's
playing the horror piano TikTok
There is no such thing as a coincidence.
audio and asking if something's a coincidence, I can almost promise you that it will be.
These Roman numerals. When we combine all these numerals, we're left with 1776.
Fuck!
It's 6-7. It's ancient 6-7. Is that it? Is that it?
It's not a coincidence. I bet you that was intentional.
And then subtract it by 1776. Guess what? We're left with 666.
Who has the time to come up with this shit? Hi everyone, I'm new here. I'm the Shadow Government summer intern. I'm a really big fan of National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. I was wondering if we could put like a National Treasure Easter egg in the money.
The Australian $20 note now.
Oh please, Australia lost a war against birds. Do you think they're being asked to help with the New World Order?
And then, if we multiply it by the 2, we get...
You don't actually have to make up an evil shadow government to be mad at. You can just be mad at the normal government. And you kinda should be, because they actually, you know, don't give a fuck about you. So if that looks unfair to you, just remember there's a lot more of us than there are of them. And so all I'm saying is what we should do.
You tell me if you think this is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn, bro. Bro got French for a second. Bro got French.
Hey, y'all seen this yet?
That would be my line.
Alright, I'm gonna take a shot every time this guy makes an insane claim and backs it up with, I don't know, it looks like it.
This giant snake, man. You can see the scales.
You can see the scales.
A Alleged tree stump.
Alleged tree
Alleged tree stump. Alleged tree stump, bro.
stump.
Alleged mountain.
Alleged mountains.
You can even see the rings.
You can see the rings.
Look what happens.
Oh my god, it's a Wojak. It's a dead Wojak. They killed the Wojak.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
See, I don't know if it's petrified giants or
Oh my god, it's fucking Stone BL, bro. It's Rock BL, really? Really? Petrified Giant BL? Is this what we're doing? Giant Stone Yowie?
not, but it's petrified something.
He doesn't know, but it's petrified something.
It looks a lot like roots.
Looks like.
It even looks
It looks a lot like Roots.
like the little wrinkled up skin on the.
Looks like a little wrinkled up. Milo, people don't actually.
Isn't there a whole name for the human mind's ability to like look at something and make it seem like something else because it looks like that's like a thing. That's like a scientific thing that our brains do.
You believe this, right? No. They do. Something is very wrong with the
Like,
supposed
bro,
history.
do you ever look at the skies and see in the clouds a little kitty cat? Do you think they put kitty cats in the clouds? Man, Pareidolia, that thing. Pareidolia.
We've been taught, liked by creator. Shouldn't be surprising, they hide everything. Archaeology is a symptom of modern anti-intellectualism. Yeah, it seems harmless on its own. It discourages people from actually doing research themselves. Instead, just listen to theories like this because they like how it makes them feel.
Hey, y'all seen this yet?
Hey, y'all still this yet?
Before y'all try to debunk, watch the whole video. It gets deep.
Okay, fine, I'll watch the whole
Okay.
video and then I'll
Biggest
debunk
deep.
it.
Why am I just now finding out that in 1994 they found the Kingdom of Heaven in the waters above?
Yeah, why are you only now finding out?
Yeah, bro, how are you just finding out about this? You see, me and my circle, we've known that in 1994 they found the Kingdom of Heaven in the waters above.
Real image that was observed with the Hubble telescope.
You just make it too easy. Did you actually read the thing that you put on the screen before you posted the video? Weekly World News was the first to print the image and report on Dr. Masson's findings. That would be this article from 2009. What kind of source is Weekly World News? Oh. Huh. Damn, bro, you cited a source that has an article about how to sell your soul to the devil. I don't
Wait, I need that.
think the man upstairs is gonna be too happy about that.
Look, man, blowing up as a VTuber is hard. I just need a little something, okay?
Weekly World News is a satire news organization like The Onion. I wonder why NASA refused to acknowledge the existence of this photo. I got a little time left. Give me one more.
What does this look like to you?
The Xbox X. The glowing X on a controller. Genuinely, the glowing X on a controller. I bet what that is.
He has risen.
Before y'all try.
No, that is literally a controller. That is a picture of a controller taken in the dark. That is the X button on a controller. Please. Dude, I'm gonna leave it here for now, but holy.